Good afternoon. For those who operate in the business space, you're probably aware of a product, a finance product called invoice discounting, which is where you use the value of the amounts that your customers owe you, commonly called debtors. You use those amounts as security for a finance facility where the financier lends you a percentage of how much your customers owe you. So typically, for example, if you have customers that owe you, I'll call it $100,000 to keep the numbers nice and simple, there are lenders out there who will lend you, as a business owner, 80% of that, or $80,000. And there are some requirements around that that can bring that figure down lower, but broadly that's the way it works. And when the customer pays you the $100,000 they owe you, then you repay the $80,000 that you had borrowed from the financier. Now, in this marketplace, it's been one of those marketplaces of finance that has contracted and expanded and recontracted again over time. The last major contraction was probably just after the GFC, where a lot of the major banks got out of this facility. There are now some majors that are back in that space, and there are also some non-banks that have been very, very successful in this space. But even in that space of the non-bank lenders, there's been what is called an industry roll-up, where some of the competitors have been acquired or merged with others, and so the field and the landscape is changing quite rapidly. But there are still quite a few players in that space to choose from. So if you are a business or business owner and you have a book of debtors that is fairly robust and secure, and your customers normally pay you, let's say, on average 45 to 60 days from the date of invoice, you can get money immediately up to about 80% of the amount they owe you from some of these financiers. Now, we understand how this works, and we're more than happy to have a chat to you if you'd like to find out a little bit more about how your business might be able to benefit from a facility known as invoice discounting. One thing which a lot of people don't know about is there are two types of invoice discounting. There's what's called disclosed and non-disclosed. Disclosed is where your customer sees that you are using a lender, and non-disclosed is where they don't know that you're using a lender in regard to their invoices. Now, there's different characteristics attached to each type of product, but that's just a bit of a guide for you. So if that was something you'd like to find out a little bit more about, or you know someone who would like to find a little bit more about that, more than happy to help them. Take care. Cheers.